Today, I put every player in the NFL back in their prime. So for example, Russell Wilson, who's now on the Giants, was a 78 overall, but now he's a 99 overall. Old man Joe Flacco, who's now back on the Browns, was a 71 overall, and now he's 93 overall. And Aaron Rodgers decided against ayahuasca in the retirement home, and finally officially decided to join the Steelers as a 77 overall. But now back in his prime, he's a 99 overall. Now will the Steelers still get bounced in the wild card round? Maybe, but we'll find that out later in the video. So I went through the league team by team and looked at players' current overalls and did hours of research to find every player's highest overall. And in the end, I updated about 150 players. And a lot of players got slight boosts, like Cooper Kupp now on the Seahawks going from a 90 overall back to a 99, or like Nick Chubb, who just signed with the Texans, who goes from an 89 to a 97. And then there's a lot of players who got massive increases, like Von Miller going from an 83 to a 99, or Odell Beckham Jr. going from a 75 overall to a 96. And there's actually a bunch of highly rated veterans sitting in free agency ready to sign with any team. Now there's honestly too many players that I updated to show you every single one, but we will check out a few notable ones in game. Shockingly, Matt Stafford's highest Madden rating was a 92 overall, but he does get a 99 overall Devontae Adams to throw the ball to. Another combo that I'm very excited to see the numbers they put up this year is Lamar Jackson throwing to DeAndre Hopkins, who's now on the Ravens at a 99 overall. D-Hop took a huge jump to 99, coming all the way up from an 83, and he just burned Cooper DeJean on this, and that's the freest touchdown. He's gonna be so dirty with Lamar. The Patriots are usually pretty bad in the sim, but Drake May is gonna get a 97 overall Stephon Diggs to throw the ball to, assuming he actually shows up and he's not just on some yacht with Cardi B doing God knows what. And since we're here, this is actually a perfect example to show how random some of these upgrades got, bringing players back to their prime, because Andy Dalton jumped all the way to an 87 overall. And it's not just him, because he's gonna get to throw to a 92 overall Adam Thielen, who's back up to his highest overall from his days on the Vikings. But I'm very curious to know where those free agents are gonna sign. So let's sim to the regular season, where the Rams actually brought back Von Miller. Him rocking Aaron Donald's 99 is actually kind of funny. Michael Thomas signed with the 49ers. Odell Beckham Jr. signed with the Packers. I guess the Steelers are trying to be like the Jets and bring in Aaron Rodgers' friends to play with him. The Eagles signed Jair Alexander, who just got released in real life. The Jets signed Keenan Allen. The Giants signed Amari Cooper, and also Ezekiel Elliott. They must have only wanted former Cowboys. While the Vikings signed Carson Wentz, who is a much higher overall than JJ McCarthy, but the Vikings always do great in sim with JJ, so I have no idea what they're gonna do with Wentz. So now let's sim to the playoffs to see how all these players do back in their prime. By the way, if you're liking the video so far, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button too while you're at it. I'm genuinely still recovering from the 3 weeks it took me to beat every single Madden moment, so maybe check that video out after this one too. But now in the NFC, the Giants won the NFC East at 13-4. Wow, Russell Wilson had 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns to only 3 picks. I expected crazier numbers. Okay, never mind. Zeke had almost 2,200 yards and 23 touchdowns, so that record makes a lot more sense now. But in the NFC North, the Vikings, Packers, and Lions all made the playoffs. Carson Wentz threw for 3,700 yards and 41 touchdowns. Jordan Love had 5,000 yards and 51 touchdowns for the Packers, with OBJ getting 1,900 yards and 23 touchdowns. And for the Lions, Jared Goff had 4,940, with Allen Robinson actually leading the team in receiving, with 1,500 yards and 15 TDs. It's kind of crazy because his prime only brought him up to a 90. In the South, the Bucs were the only team to make it in. Wow, the Saints actually signed Teddy Bridgewater out of free agency, and he threw for 3,300 yards and 23 touchdowns. His peak Madden rating was only an 82, but it's definitely an improvement over Spencer Rattler. Andy Dalton even had a decent year with 4,132 as well. And lastly in the West, the Seahawks and Rams both made it in. Sam Darnold threw for 3,527. A 99 overall Cooper Kupp had 1,200 yards and 17. Prime Matt Stafford threw for 4,539. And 99 overall Devontae only had 890 and 3. But Puka Nacua had 1,600 yards and 22 touchdowns. But now in the AFC, the Bills won the East at 11-6. Josh Allen threw for 4,500 yards and 45 touchdowns. The Jets actually started Tyrod because his prime rating was higher than Fields, and he threw for 3,730, and Stephon Diggs did absolutely nothing with the Patriots. In the North, the Steelers went 15-2, with the Ravens also making it in. Rodgers threw for 3,600 yards and 24 touchdowns. DK Metcalf also had a good year with 1,110. Wow, Lamar went crazy. He had 4,900 yards and 41 touchdowns. He usually never throws for that much in the sim. And okay, I understand why. Because 99 overall D-Hop had 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns. And Joe Flacco led the Browns to 2 wins behind 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 15 picks. In the South, the Colts and Texans made the playoffs. Prime Jonathan Taylor had 1,400 yards and 17 touchdowns, playing all the way up to a 98 overall right now. And Nick Chubb on the Texans had a decent year with 1,112 touchdowns. But lastly in the West, the Chiefs and Chargers both made it in. But the biggest jump here was bringing Najee Harris back up to an 89, and it definitely paid off because he had 1,500 yards and 21 touchdowns. And real quick, defensively, Khalil Mack is back up to a 99 overall, and he led the league with 18 sacks. Abdul Carter on the Giants even had 16 and a half, and Jalen Ramsey also got bumped back up to a 99. So it's great to see he led the league with 6 interceptions. So let's see who won MVP. Wow, it's actually Lamar Jackson. Jordan Love threw for more yards and 10 more touchdowns than Lamar. I don't really understand why Lamar won. But anyway, this is gonna be our playoff bracket for this season. And in the wildcard round, the Chiefs beat the Texans, the Ravens blew out the Colts, the Chargers surprisingly beat the Bills pretty easily. Mostly surprising because Josh Allen did so well in the sim this year. Next, the Packers beat the Bucks 10-0. Next, the Lions and Seahawks were tied at 14, but the Seahawks are in position for a Jason Myers kick to win the game as time expires to send them to the next round. And last up, we got the Rams versus Giants, and this has pretty much been how this entire wildcard round has gone, because the Giants blew them out 28-0. Danger Russ Wilson's back. So now in the divisional, we got the Ravens versus Steelers, Seahawks versus Giants, Chargers versus Chiefs, and Packers versus Vikings. And with 2 minutes to go, the Vikings are up by 3, but the Packers are at their own 14-yard line, and it's 3rd and 17, so that's terrible for them. So now Jordan Love had an amazing year statistically, but the season's on the line on this play, but he's going OBJ, and he does not get it. He literally just let it hit him in the back. Like, what even was that? So the Vikings hold on to win this game. Carson Wentz in the year 2025 is going to the NFC Championship. Next, we got the Chargers versus Chiefs, and they're tied at 14 with 2 minutes to go, but the Chargers have the ball at the 50. I actually thought they would run and use Najee. Wow, that was a great run by Herbert, though. So now at this point, I think they just keep handing it off to continue milking the clock. Hopefully he doesn't actually score, because the Chiefs just used their last timeout, and if they can keep him out of the end zone here, the Chargers should be able to just kick a field goal as time expires, but Najee actually gets all the way into the end zone, which could end up being a mistake because Patrick Mahomes still has 30 seconds, but he does not have any timeouts to work with, and he's gonna get sacked. With no timeouts, that brings them to 10 seconds, so they're pretty much out of chances here, and he gets sacked again. So the Chargers win this game. Next, we got the Seahawks versus Giants. The Seahawks have the ball at the 38, but they have no timeout, so if they don't score, it is going to be over, and Abdul Carter gets the sack. And that's it. This game's done. I genuinely expected this to be a closer game. So last up, we got the Ravens versus Steelers, and they are tied at 7 in the 4th. It's simultaneously shocking, but also not surprising at all to see the Steelers go 15-2. That was a terrible sack to take. Every player who I put in their prime does have all their actual attributes from when they were their highest overall, so Rodgers is fast, but that sack absolutely killed him, so they're gonna have to settle for the field goal. I've seen Lamar throw in these scenarios so many times that he is gonna get the first. I was gonna say, he doesn't normally have a receiver like D-Hop. Well, technically next year he has D-Hop, but it's not the prime version of D-Hop, but I think you get what I mean. He's already got him to the 33, so they're just around field goal range. I do not know how he missed that screen pass, and he gets sacked. What are they doing? They're going for it on 4th. They can kick a field goal. What are they doing? They're throwing. Just get the first. If you throw it out of bounds, it's gonna be, oh my God. Just look at all of this space in front of Lamar, except he runs sideways and then eventually steps out of bounds. I pray to God they fix this in Madden 26. Like, this is so dumb. That was so stupid. So even though they don't deserve it, the Steelers win this game. But now in the NFC Championship, we got the Giants versus Vikings. And going into overtime, they are tied at 17. And the Vikings will start with the ball first, so we'll see what they can actually do on offense with Wentz. The fact that both of these teams went 13-4 is honestly just a little crazy to me. Really, the fact that it's Carson Wentz versus Russell Wilson, especially considering the fact that Wentz wasn't even on a team when this video started. started, and now he's about to put him in field goal range. Somebody really does have to do like a documentary YouTube video about like the fall off of his career, and he just got a first. Wentz was so good at the beginning, and then it kind of all really fell off a cliff. I can't speak. What I'm trying to say is it all went downhill very quickly for him, but Aaron Jones is going to get that touchdown. So now we'll see if Russell Wilson and Zeke and Amari Cooper and basically everyone else who we made in their prime can lead the comeback. Because the Giants are pretty bad in real life and have a bunch of veterans like Russ, they did improve a lot here, and he just got their touchdown to tie it. So now it's next score wins. Any points on this drive wins it for him. I'm glad since this game started in overtime, we've gotten like to watch good action. Wentz is getting sacked. It's funny, I started setting this up before I recorded that Madden Moments video, so that's why Abdul Carter's wearing number 11, but the Vikings aren't getting a first there. I mean, they're already so close to field goal range, just like one first down might even do it for him, and he's gonna shake that and get close to a first. But now they've somehow already worked themselves to a 3rd and 2, and they should use Zeke. He had a crazy year. Just like feed him more. Even on a screen pass wouldn't be a bad idea, but Russ is gonna, well, he's gonna run. I thought he was gonna throw. He should slide down. He's not. He's getting the first. That was a massive run by Russ. Now they're all the way at the 20, so they're putting up the kick to win, and Graham Gano sends them to the Super Bowl. But will they face the Chargers or Steelers? And at the end of the 4th, the Chargers are down by 3, and I'm showing this field goal because it's crazy we're going to overtime in both games. The odds of that happening feels insane, but that's why I wanted to show that field goal attempt, because I wanted to show exactly how we got here, because I like to jump in when we're at like pivotal moments in the game, whether like a team's down or trying to like secure a lead. Herbert's just running all the way downfield. Both of these teams got a bunch of like little boosts to a lot of their players, bringing them back up into their primes. Obviously, the Steelers did get Rodgers back to a 99, which is the most major upgrade, so ignoring that one is what I really mean, but Herbert's going to run again and get all the way to the 10. The Steelers just need to run a QB spy on him because he is eating them up, and this time he beats him with his arm. I gotta be honest, the Chargers versus the Steelers in the AFC Championship could be a thing that happens in real life this year. One, for the fact that Rodgers going to the AFC Championship after leaving the Jets would be the most Jets thing to ever happen, so that backs him up to the 41. But the second part is that I really do believe in Jim Harbaugh as a coach, so I could see him taking the Chargers far this year. And now it's 2nd and 13. That penalty actually really killed him. Where is he throwing? Oh my God, DK Metcalf's wide open. How did he get that open? The Steelers were looking dead in the water, but now they're at the 11. I thought it was gonna be a screen pass. He's gonna throw to Metcalf again, who gets close to the 5. They should not run it at Khalil Mack, who's a 99 overall. Rodgers should just run. Dude, you had the space, just run. The annoying part is I know he has the throw the ball away tendency off. Run again. What are you doing? Thank God. I would have been so mad if he didn't get it when it was so easy right in front of him. I simmed ahead and the Chargers got it all the way to the 21, so he literally didn't even get to see what happened. So they're gonna win the game and go to the Super Bowl. I literally simmed 2 plays. Sometimes I just can't win with this sim. So in the Super Bowl, we got the Chargers versus the Giants. And in the 4th quarter, we're tied at 13. And Russ is in the zone, but they should still use Zeke. They have plenty of time, but he's actually gonna throw deep here. Who's he going to? It is a pass interference, maybe. It is pass interference on the Chargers. So that puts the Giants on the 1-yard line. Let's see where Russ goes. And he's got Amari Cooper wide open. And now after the 2-minute warning, they have to be a little more mindful of the clock, but Herbert's gonna run and get a ton of yards. Herbert nearly threw a pick on back-to-back plays, so let's see what he does on 3rd down. They're at the 37. He's gonna run again. He's been unstoppable running the ball, and he fumbled. The Chargers got so lucky to pick it up, but it's 4th and 2. He's gonna throw, and it's caught by Mike Williams. That went from a disaster for the Chargers to a miracle. Like, I don't know how that happened. That was weird. And that holding penalty just set them back to the 20, so they're gonna hand off to Zeke, who's got a lot of space. He's gonna get all that penalty yardage back and more. They were definitely playing for overtime, but that run definitely, my freaking thing is opening. Why did that have to happen in the Super Bowl this late in the game as they get to the 20-yard line? Somehow in 3 plays, they got all the way down to the 18-yard line, but Khalil Mack gets that sack. The Chargers had a chance and made a great comeback, but Graham Gano hits the kick to take the lead. So the Giants and Russell Wilson are Super Bowl champions, and he even wins Super Bowl MVP. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Please go watch this video where I beat every single Madden moment. Like, I recorded for over 30 hours, worked on that video editing for weeks. I would greatly appreciate it. So much hard work went into it. But that's it for today. I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.